Hello! Happy Sunday night, everybody. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz, coming to you live from our studios in West Sonoma County, more specifically the Golden Days Studios. That's the name of the program. We cover the Golden State Warriors, and your Warriors, folks, have a 3-game winning streak. But tonight was more about Moses Moody. Hell of a night. Hell of a game. 7 first-quarter three-pointers, 2 shy of tying Klay Thompson for the record for most threes in a quarter. Klay Thompson owns that record with 9. Just a good old-fashioned, nice, lazy Sunday ass-kicking. I feel like if you consider yourself a Warriors fan, I felt like it was a bit of a necessity. So, good stuff. Julian Bashir being facetious in our chat, saying we could trade Moses Moody for Wendell Carter Jr. straight up. Why not? Let's do it. Sounds amazing. I'm being facetious. Again, I'm kidding. Moody's awesome. You're awesome. Swish Culture may join us. If you're familiar with him, you know he's got an awesome YouTube channel. He is anonymous publicly. Chances are you don't know who he is. I do. But even though I actually know his ID, I didn't mean to say that like a ha-ha, because it's not. But he may join us. He is literally one of the hardest individuals to track down on this planet. We had it scheduled. If he joins us, great. If not, we're going to have fun regardless. Welcome, everybody. Why am I being called a frat bro? What's that all about? Is that because once upon a time I was actually in a fraternity? I don't fit the stereotype. I can promise you that. But yeah, I was once upon a time in one of those things. Nonetheless, let's get into it. Wait a second. Are you calling me that because this is the actual Steve Elmore? Oh, but I thought I've asked you this once before if that was you, and he said no. But do you remember that? And now you're joshing with me. If that's really you, Steve, email me, please. I did have a fraternity brother once upon a time called Steve Elmore, and someone sent me a pic. He vanished on all of us. And then someone sent a pic the other day where the dude would be born around 67. He was way older than all of us, but he hasn't aged a bit. If that's you, you better email me. Let's get into it. Great win for the Golden State Warriors. We'll break down what went right, what did not go right. A few things in there. Stephen Curry only made 2 field goals the entire game. He had none at the half. True story. And yet, despite that, this was over the moment it started, as it should be. The Warriors getting accustomed to facing teams who replaced their head coaches last minute. Earlier in the year was the Portland Trailblazers when they brought in Tiago Splitter last minute because Chauncey Billups is in some huge trouble. And then Willie Green, the Pelicans coach, was dismissed yesterday, replaced by Barago, their current interim head coach. And this time the Warriors were not fazed. They now have a 3-game winning streak. The Golden State Warriors improved to 9-6. Let's talk about it. George, I hope you're okay, friend. That's no joking matter if you actually have that. I mean, I know you want to share it with all of us, and I get writing the all caps. I get it. You're struggling in life. I don't think it's fun to have something like that going on. So, hope you're doing okay, George. I really do. Because that's nothing to scoff at when you're dealing with it. And I know that you're troubled and you want us to know about it because misery loves company, but we're a Warriors show. That's our focus. And yes, Julian, as we've been telling people for 4 years, the Warriors are still a dynasty. I don't know what that's all about. Let's get into it. Happy Sunday night. The weekend is still technically a thing. Monday's not here yet, folks. If you're listening to this on a Monday, stay strong. If you're watching this live or catching this on a Sunday night, hope that your weekend has been nice and it's still going nice. A Warriors victory never hurts that if you're a Warriors fan. We'll talk about Draymond getting into it with a fan, a Pelicans fan, a big-ass oafish goon of an individual who had a smoke show partner there. I don't know how you're impressing your romantic partner by engaging in face-to-face confrontations with NBA basketball players. I don't know how that went in terms of the afterward conversation. I'm talking about an incident in the game. I'll explain what I mean in just a second. Let's get into it. This is the Golden Days, powered by FanDuel. Let's go. Welcome to the Golden Days. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at dog wild. The program is on both platforms or social media platforms. I apologize, at Golden Days Pod. FanDuel is the official sponsor of this program. It's the official sportsbook of the Believe Network, which is what we are on. I was curious to see if the line, first of all, the Warrior, before I even get into this line, really quickly, have to mention the fact that this road trip the Warriors went on, a 6-game road trip, was expected to be grueling, insanely difficult. There is no scenario I had plotted where I'm coming to you live on a Sunday with the Warriors having a winning record. Yet that's what we're talking about here. The Warriors are now 3-1 on this 6-game road trip. They've made up for those fiascos earlier in the season. Can you use that word as a plural? In Milwaukee and Indiana. And they're going to go into Orlando Tuesday again, 9-6 on the year, a 3-1 road record. And if there's a line, that's what I'm going to FanDuel's website for to see if a spread is available yet. It is not. The Orlando Magic actually have a game coming up at Houston. Is that tonight? Well, I got to look up let me look up the NBA's schedule here really quickly to see what's going on. There is no line yet for the Magic and the Warriors, but I'm checking out the NBA schedule because I am now fascinated to see what Orlando is dealing with. The Magic have had a disappointment. Oh, they're playing right now. Oh, that's why. And the Magic, so we're coming to you live. It's 6:35 p.m. Pacific time as I'm speaking right now. And the Orlando Magic Anthony Black, more specifically, just made a bucket for the Orlando Magic. They're in Houston as the Warriors are a 5-hour drive away in New Orleans. And the Magic just took a 102-100 lead over the Rockets. So we'll know what the final score is definitely before the show ends. I really wish I had the ability to go to that stream live. That would have been awesome, but we don't. I'll keep you posted on that. A lot of games ongoing right now, a lot of games on the schedule for Sunday. You'd think the NFL would have dominated that landscape, but the NBA is like, F you, we're still going to schedule games. I don't care if the NFL's on a Sunday. I don't know if that's a smart marketing strategy, but that's how the NBA rolls. And again, 1.3 seconds left in that game. The Rockets have called a full timeout. They trail the Magic 102-100. So if Orlando wins, they're going to improve to 8-6. Obviously, no line yet for the Magic and the Warriors. The outcome of this game likely going to affect that, have some influence on that. The Magic and the Warriors are both off tomorrow. So Golden State comes away victorious in New Orleans, where Jimmy Butler may or may not have been accosted. Did you folks see that clip, by the way? There's a video making the rounds where Jimmy Butler is minding his own business, just walking on the street. And I'm guessing that this is either, I couldn't figure out the exact city where the incident took place. It was either, but maybe it was San Antonio. My guess is it was in New Orleans, where just some random dude. Here, I'll find the clip and play it for you folks, just because it is crazy and worth playing. And it's also goes to show just how much the sports gambling scene has permeated professional sports. But it's really the daily fantasy stuff that has taken it to a whole other level, because gambling's always been around. Like I mean, again, I brought this up before. It was, I think, the early 1900s, well over 100 years ago, when the Chicago Black Sox scandal occurred. A gambling scandal involving a World Series of Baseball. The Chicago White Sox, I think they call it the Black Sox scandal because it was the White Sox were involved in it. I'm not an expert on that situation. All I do know is that happened a long time ago. Gambling, influence, rigging, corruption, all that stuff. It's nothing new. What is new is the daily fantasy part of it, meaning betting on individual players. Because now it's not just the team that you're betting on. It's literally players and certain measurables they will reach, or maybe they won't reach. And you could bet on that as well, meaning over-unders. Well, one player was really peeved at Jimmy Butler and just happened to see him in the street. Here, I'll play. You can see this for yourself, just so you can know what I'm talking about. But apparently, this individual placed some sort of bet on Jimmy Butler. And yeah, Adrian Gutierrez. I'll talk about how the Warriors played in just a second. Please do me a favor and don't tell me how to run my show. Here's Jimmy Butler first and foremost, though. Again, talking about or being accosted on the street in terms of about gambling. Just take a watch. This has gone all over the social media circles. But if you missed it, again, just a lot of toxic shit going on out there. This is what Jimmy Butler dealt with. I don't know if this was this morning, yesterday morning. I don't know if this was New Orleans or San Antonio, but it happened. And here's Jimmy.
Man, fucking green apple looking at, stupid big ass Timbs on. Jimmy Butler, man, they don't give a fuck you in that city. Stupid looking at, look at him. Mopane looking at, yeah. Bro, I put 3,000 and win 30. Why you ain't have 30 perks? Jimmy Butler, why you did not have a 30 perks? You were supposed to go over, bitch. You work for Vegas. You work for Vegas.
First of all, if you're betting on Jimmy Butler to score over 30 points, which is what I think this clown was insinuating, don't look at anyone in terms of who to blame for why you lost that bet. Jimmy Butler is not putting up over 30 consistently. Secondly, Adrian Gutierrez in the chat following up saying that you just can't even walk down the street anymore without being accosted. Asinine. So Jimmy Butler was dealing with that. And then I don't know if like this next clip I'm going to share with you. And this was from tonight's game. And then, yes, we'll obviously talk about the Warriors coming away victorious, where Moody again had an unbelievable night. But all sorts of acts of lacking in civility, if you will. I was trying to think of a word that's the antonym to civility. Draymond Green. And again, please, I hope YouTube does not flag this so that it doesn't get cut out when you're watching the recording. But Draymond Green dealt with this really fan. Let's watch this so you can see just the chaos. And some people in the chat were saying that incident with Jimmy Butler was also in New Orleans. I love New Orleans. It is, to me, one of the greatest cities in the world. Like a lot of cities, you're going to have some characters, some questionable people in terms of character. And this clown is no exception. Draymond Green literally dealt with this in tonight's game. I apologize to the YouTube audience. I'm sorry, to the podcast audience who will not get a chance to see this, obviously. It's Warriors Pelicans game. I'm going to pause this for 1 second because I see Swish in the chat. Swish, I emailed you the link like 2 days ago. If you need me to resend it, I'll do that right now while we're playing this. Because Swish Culture, I'm hoping will join us in just a moment. Continue watching. And again, that red card he was talking about, I've never seen that in my life. It's apparently like, it looked a little more like a playing card. I've never seen a fan given one of those. It was like a soccer game, except it was not a red card. It was a playing card. I have no idea what the meaning of that was, but basically to try to articulate what happened here in a nutshell. And Swish, I just emailed the link again. So hopefully we'll see you to have you join us in just a second, which is, and this might actually time out in terms of me not talking about the Warriors that much to start the show. So Swish can come in and we can talk about them together. So Draymond Green walks over to a fan that was seated courtside at the baseline and edging toward the corner. And this fan is gargantuous. He's not a manster because a manster means it's a half man, half monster. This was just a monster of a human being. And so Draymond and this guy who knows what we're talking about. Where I thought the fan crossed the line egregiously was him holding out his arms, basically saying, come get some. Like acting like he wanted to fight Draymond. Like when a fan, the fan did not have to stand up. All right. So that alone to me was a massive red line that this fan crossed. Like in what world outside of apparently New Orleans are fans allowed to get up from their seat and have a face-to-face confrontation with an NBA player? Now, Draymond did not apparently ask this fan to be kicked out. But again, the fan has his arms out, basically saying, let's go. And the entire Warriors bench gets up. Warriors security starts racing over there. Situation gets quelled immediately. But yeah, and then New Orleans security hands the guy like a playing card, and I don't understand what happened there. Crazy. Yeah. So, anyways, that's what happened there. And now let's bring Swish on the show. I've been anticipating the encore. Swish, do we have you? How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Cyrus? How you been, my man?
Doing good, but this is a great game. We're coming to you live immediately following the Warriors taking care of business in New Orleans as expected, 124-106. And the fact that this game was comfortably over pretty much from the get-go is almost entirely because of Moses Moody, who had 32 points in this game. He was 7, I believe, of 8 from the three-point line just in the first quarter. Those 7 threes, 2 shy of Klay Thompson's NBA record for most in a quarter. Klay once hit 9 as a member of the Warriors. Moody hit 7 tonight. Moody, we'll break down the stats in just a second, but how are you doing, and what was your immediate reaction to this game, man, that featured Moody dominating Steph, not being able to make shots, Draymond getting confronted by fans? It was interesting.
Oh man. There's a whole lot going on here and in that game that I wanted to touch on. But great to be here, Cyrus. Thank you for having me again. On your show. I really appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
brother. Absolutely. Great to have you.
Yes. So a couple of things. First, I'm not stateside at the moment, right? Recently I started a campaign for some hurricane relief efforts. I'll do an update on my channel, but I've been on the ground for about a week. I haven't really posted many videos. It's been tough to get internet, and it's just been a heck of a lot with that. It's just incredible what's been happening. But I will
enlighten us real quick. What hurricane? I mean, the one in Jamaica?
Yes, Hurricane Melissa that landed in Jamaica a couple of weeks ago, right?
And so you've been in Jamaica helping basically the citizens of that country out because, again, a Category 5 hurricane hit the island nation. And Jamaica shares that island, correct, with another country, I think?
No. So you're thinking of Haiti. No, you're fine. You're thinking of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. So they share that land space. Yes, no problem. So you might not have been aware, but I was born in the country. And not only that, the area, the epicenter of the hurricane, that's where I grew up. So that's like my homeland. And I spent the first 15 years of my life there. I've been going back there basically every year. Some of my videos I've even done while I've been there. I just don't usually share this stuff out there like that. So I started running a campaign shortly after. I had some interesting takes. I had some people who were wishing, even before the hurricane, actually, I put just a little tidbit there, saying I hope my aunt would be okay. Thankfully, she was. It was a very violent hurricane. Driving there and seeing on the ground what is actually happening, it's absolutely insane. I have no words. The amount of force and power it takes to do the damage that I witnessed, I just cannot even put it into words. It looks like it was a bomb that fell on top of the country. It was really bad. A lot of buildings were decimated, and so a lot of people are left without homes. They are left without basic necessities. And this is no exaggeration. People will be without electricity for years. Okay, there's no power lines were left standing in what you call the parish of St. Elizabeth because there was just so much. I've taken some videos. I haven't had a chance to upload them yet, but I will be doing that. And one of my main goals was to get my aunt her roof back, and because most people they've lost their roofs, they have not been able to do anything. Anything inside their house is damaged. As a matter of fact, I just watched a cousin of mine earlier today take a dresser out and toss it as she was bringing it out. It literally fell apart. It crumbled, and she had to throw it out in the garbage. So there's a lot of damage that occurred. Some people died. Thankfully, no one that I know. But
How many casualties total, do you know?
There were about just in there's 32, 18, 14. There were about somewhere between 50 and 60. They were missing like 15 people, however. Okay.
Jesus.
And yeah, it's a very, very sad situation. And one of the things that, as I was rushing here to try to, get set up so that I can be here, right? I would drive by and there were kids and they were just waiting for any vehicle to stop. They were like asking, they were asking for stuff. I've never seen this before in my life. There were people like groups of people, men, women, and children, and they were just standing there by the side of the road and, they were waiting for something to, they were like asking like, hey, can you guys help us? They have signs put up, we need help. And this was all along the coastline of where the hurricane hit landfall. And it's, just to see those kids, especially, and knowing that they don't have electricity, they don't have water, they don't have a way to get access because stores are closed because they don't have access to stuff. Everything in that area is destroyed. And if you don't have a vehicle, you can't get to maybe a town that's a couple hours away. Well, it was a couple hours away before all the power lines went down and blocked the roads, the trees went down and blocked the roads. So it's just, it's very hard to do anything right now. And so they need all the help they can get to just live or return to livelihood of what they had before. And so that's going to be a work in progress. People will be out of amenities for a very long time. I actually, one of the first things I did, I got my aunts, like we didn't have any water, so I had to fix some pipes. So we got water restored there. And
props for knowing how to do that. So
it was my first time doing that particular job, but I tend to take on a ton of fix-it type of jobs at the house. So, when I came there, they were kind of hoping that I would be able to help them get some stuff going. And outside of that, we had to depend on a lot of solar. Could you believe I actually slept in the car last night? I had to sleep in the car.
I believe it.
We were housing people, people I don't even know, because a lot of people were without houses. This was in my cousin's house, so me, my aunt, we had some other people there, and so I had to sleep in there. We had no internet, no power. We have a generator, but the gas is insanely expensive. And so that runs, it costs like, some people in the chat might be able to figure the conversion, but it was like 5,000 Jamaican dollars it's $1,000 for a gallon of gas, basically, right?
Ooh.
And so, we were using, we got 5 gallons in there and it runs out in about 12 hours. And then you have to go and, do it again. And so we're trying to do, we're trying to find something efficient. I think solar would have been better, but, they didn't really have the luxury of time. And that's, that may be in the future. But the people are really struggling. There are people who would never, I would go there and travel usually. There are people who would never approach me. They came up to me and were asking me for money so that they can, and I've given to a number of people. I think I gave to 3 different people today. But what I realized is I was a little bit short in terms of like how much I had. So what I'm going to have to do is, some of it is my own personal money. Some of it is from the GoFundMe that these guys donated to, because I have a number of people that donated. We raised up to $3,500, close to that. And I used some of that to buy some groceries. And then we got people, we got some food stuff. As a matter of fact, when I went there, I immediately got to cooking, and I dished out some food for some people that were there. So there's a lot of work to be done. So that's what I'm doing.
And right now I have your Twitter account on my screen. If you're watching this, if you're listening on the podcast, just go to Swish Culture's Twitter account. It's at Swish Culture YT. I think YT, I'm guessing, stands for YouTube. And there's a QR code at the top. where people can go to the link for the GoFundMe, where you're helping people in your, again, I don't know if the proper way to describe it is your home country, or at least a place that's very close to you, Jamaica, which just got rocked by a massive hurricane. And forgive me for the ignorance of not being as aware as I'm now realizing should be about this catastrophe. I've not seen this much about this in the news, which I don't know if that's on me, if that's on the news media as a whole. I have no clue. But so I'm guessing you're not in a state to talk Warriors tonight, because you're doing some real life humanitarian work. And I can't thank you for just joining us to give us an update, man. How are you doing in all this?
I mean, here I don't know. I was trying to do a couple of things that, I try not to neglect the fans that I have on here, my subscribers as well, because, they've been relying on me for, Warriors content and such. Like I said, I haven't put out any content in a week. It's not just because I haven't been able to even write, because I have done some writing, but I just haven't gone through with putting together the video, simply because the access to some of the stuff that I need is just not there.
Do you have power? Like, what's the power and water situation? Because I feel like those are the two things that are just really. I don't think nuisance is the right word. It's bigger than that. But what is the water and power situation? Because that's usually what goes in catastrophes like these.
Sure, and I'm gonna answer that in just a second. But just to clarify, I had someone tell me before I even, really started doing this. They said, someone on social media actually said that where they've come and seen it on my channel was giving them the most coverage on the hurricane, even though I had not really been covering it like that. So I think it's just not really out there like that. And I think if it's not in your circles, I'm gonna probably blame it on the algorithm. So, if it's not on your radar, Twitter or YouTube or whatever, it probably won't recommend them to you and stuff like that. So I think that.
Well, I don't think it helps that any of the legacy institutions, any of the actual organizations that produce news content is in Jamaica providing footage. I mean, look, the algorithm is only going to show you what actually exists for content. If there aren't real journalists on the scene reporting about the catastrophe and reporting about any humanitarian crises that may be going on, how's the algo going to pick it up? And again, maybe I hope there are residents there that can at least share some of the plight with citizen journalism. But ultimately, this is, look, I mean, if you study journalism and the folks working at these legacy institutions, I hope they have a journalism degree. That's one of the main things you're taught in school is knowing that the priority for news coverage is what's beneficial for the citizenry. And when people are struggling, when people are dying, when people need help and need resources, and the news media is not on the scene covering it, I mean, me personally, I'm gonna place the blame there. I think they're culpable, but that sucks, because I forgive me again for not being aware of this. I did follow that storm went through. I saw all the news coverage of the storm itself, and that it was a Category 5, and I've seen virtually nothing since then in terms of the damage. And I'm sorry for not being more aware.
No, you're fine. It's like I said, it's almost like, hey, this is the hottest thing right now, and journalists, maybe they put that out, and then when it gets to like, okay, well, maybe people want us to get back to their normal lives, and that's kind of like what social media is nowadays. Is like, all right, well, whatever's front and center, you get that, and then journalists, maybe they focus on that, but then once that time passes, you get your 15 minutes or whatever it is, then it's maybe a different thing to deal with, and you have to kind of actively follow it. But it's not even, it might be finished for people abroad or who are in the US, but for the people living through it, this is just getting started. All right.
Oh my God.
The damage was one thing. The hurricane was traumatic. I'm saying these people are traumatized. Okay. I'm watching a grown man cry. I have some accounts of somebody, actually the next door neighbor. He said when his house blew away, he ran over to where my cousin's house was to shelter between just the vertex between two walls at the corner, two walls. The thing is, there was no roof over it, no ceiling. He said he got drenched. He was standing there to avoid getting hit by
Right.
debris or, because that wind. He said the wind picked him up and dropped him maybe 20, 30 feet away. All
Oh my
right.
God.
This is a full grown man.
It's like a
Okay.
tornado level speed of woo,
Yes.
woo.
Tornado with water. Like the type of damage that I saw there, with the trees, like it's trees were snapped like twigs. And I'm talking about, hardy looking trees, very healthy trees that had been there for decades. And like I said, when you see the stuff and you're trying to imagine the amount of power it takes to really cause that type of damage, they had like gates, metal gates that were bent out of shape.
Oh my God.
The roads, many places impassable because it kind of what you call it. It ripped the road in half, basically. The roads were ripped in half. And the other thing I wanted to mention is
Well, I asked about
they.
water and power. I don't know if now is a good time to ask that or bring that
Oh
back
yeah,
up.
you're correct. We're going to swing around right back to that. So yeah, with the water situation, it depends on where you are. They're trying to
Okay.
do it district by district, but what I've realized is, when I spoke with my aunt, she said everybody else in our little district had water, but she didn't. And so I had to go through and find out that when the wind, they usually have like a drum or barrel on top of the house to collect water. And so it's usually full of water. And this is about a 600-gallon drum. And the wind picked it up and like threw it. It broke the pipes that were connected to it. And so that's why she didn't have water while other people did. So
God damn.
we had to repair those. So she's gonna have to get a new one of those, obviously. But I was able to repair that, so now there is running water. But a lot of people do not have that. So many people don't have it.
I mean, look, for people in the States, our familiarity with hurricanes, they've been hitting our country for, since its existence. I remember reading a book about a year ago about the big hurricane that hit Galveston. I forgot what the name of it was, but the book was fascinating because it talked about how for centuries, thousands of years, we as humans just did not have technology to know when hurricanes would hit. So for most of human existence, like we lived in the dark when it came to these huge storms. So and thousands, millions, hundreds, I don't know what the number is, but so many have perished in waters because of hurricanes coming out of nowhere by their standard. And but the damage usually for in the modern era with hurricanes is flooding. Like Katrina is probably the most infamous, and which is where this discussion is a little apropos given the Warriors played the Pelicans tonight. But I don't hear of hurricanes with winds that are picking people up. That's some next level shit, dude. And
Yeah.
Swish, look, man, when life is more calm for you, hopefully on the sooner side than later, we'll bring you back and talk about the fun things in life. This is very serious, brother. And I commend you, Sharia Brown, in our chat, who comes on the show regularly. She's mentioning that Stephen Curry donated $10 million quietly
Oh
to relief
wow,
efforts in Jamaica.
that is amazing.
It is. So dude, when you're, I don't know how much longer is there any
No, but
ballpark?
right now. I'm okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm okay where I'm at right now in order to be able to do this. There's a section that got, like I said pummeled, and there's some areas on the other side of the country that are not as damaged. And so I do know some people, and so I know that I had said that I was going to do this, and I figured, hey, I might even be able to bring some awareness to it.
Swish, how dare you? How dare you
So,
put a hurricane above doing a show with me? I'm kidding, man.
yeah, no. Look, it's just that, kind of trying to make a bunch of decisions. I'm going to be going back there to continue because
Of course.
we were able to get some quotes for the roof for my aunt, and we're going to start working on that maybe tomorrow. So the money that was donated, that's where that's going. And if there were people that were saying that I'm trying to scam somebody on my channel, and I'm like, are you serious right now? I've had my channel for 5 years. I'm not gonna try to scam people out of a couple of $1,000 to ruin my channel and my entire reputation. It's ridiculous. All right. So
You know, I have
if you
people in the
guys want to
chat
see
right now who are
receipts,
annoyed that we're talking about this. It's like, give me a effing break, man. Like not. It's okay to pause on talking about hoops to discuss a very serious issue that's directly affecting an individual. That the more I get to know you, brother, like you're a good person. I've not ever heard anything from you in our interactions privately and otherwise that gives me any inkling your character is flawed, dude. You're good people. And you're very influential when it comes to Warriors coverage. And for people wondering, like, where have you been? You're literally in the middle of a disaster right now, trying to help people that you know, people that you even don't know. You're just trying to be a good person, dude. And so shame on the people in the chat who are like, dude, get back to basketball. We'll get there in a moment. There's no rush. Swish, I commend you for being there, brother. And I'm sorry that this has happened to the people in Jamaica. I'm sorry that there isn't enough coverage, at least from what I'm hearing. And I'm sorry this is directly affecting you as well, because again, you're from there. You know people who are being directly affected, and the fact that it sounds like a nuclear bomb hit this place. Jesus Christ! I hope everyone's okay long term.
Yeah, it's going to be, it looks like what you call it, more decades worth of work and building, just kind of collapsed and crumbled in the span of a day. And so, the damage, and not just the damage, but the debris and everything that needs to be cleaned up, it's immense. And when I tell you, like, I could not drive 20 meters without driving over, wires from the utility poles, okay? Because they were just strewn across the road for miles and miles and miles. And so I don't expect that they'll be able to resolve that soon. I expect more people to likely not be able to withstand. There were people who died from heart attacks just due to the hurricane itself. But there are people who are having it very, very, very difficult right now. And so I think, we are kind of, or my aunt is kind of one of the lucky ones. The damage, it can be fixed. And so we're going to try to do that. And, with the electricity situation across the island, like I said, it's going to be years before we get back to where they used to be.
Yeah, my cousin Bobby, who lives in Florida, he's a fairly prominent lawyer in Miami. On one of my 2 cross-country road trips years ago, I went and saw him, and has visited Jamaica a lot. He also lived in Brazil for a few years. I know that South America, a different place, but I bring that up because all he ever says about Jamaica is the most amazing things. He loves it. He's also the type who never spends time in the resort areas. Like he went to Jamaica and was in the cities. He was with the people, and he loves that place. And you seem like you're echoing those sentiments. How long do you plan on staying there for this first stint before? Because I imagine you got the family and your own real life situations you got to deal with back home, right?
Yeah. So I'm trying to get things to a point where it's kind of settled, and I can kind of know that day to day things are going to be all right. I think what I want to do is make sure we get the roof on so that we can, once that's done, and then, sleeping quarters are kind of there, then, I think everything else will kind of start falling into place. Now, as far as electricity, I'm still going to be trying to find maybe some way to provide solar. Like I said, the generator is expensive. And
gas is expensive too, right?
Exactly. Gas is expensive, so trying to run that continuously to get electricity is a no-go. So the current goal is to try to cycle that, run it for a little bit, and then shut it off, and then run it again. So people are not really able to store food and stuff like that, like in the refrigerator. So that's what people are having issues with.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So
modern conveniences are so easily forgotten until you lose the most basic things, like, again, water and power. The moment one or both of those things go, it's like, oh shit.
I think people don't, really think about that stuff because, or how convenient it is to be able to get yourself a hot plate of food. A lot of people can't get that there. They're not. You know, I
Yes, sir.
see
Oh,
I see the World Health Organization, or there were some different bodies, government bodies that were there helping people out. I see them at different stops, handing out water mostly. In some places, they're handing out food. And so they were actually very close to, my district. And like I said, it was pretty much right at the center of where this hurricane landed. Um, but like I said, I see them making, reaching out to the people. I am kind of hoping that the government of Jamaica will do a bit more in terms of being able to, reach to the people, help them, and not just that, but to, because these aren't people who are just sitting waiting for handouts. All right, they want to get back to their lives, get back to work, and get back to doing what they want to do. But there's no infrastructure to allow them to do that. And I think, it's still early. I'm going to give them a little bit more time, but based on the hurricane that they had last year, while I was actually there, I actually was there through the hurricane. The damage was not as bad, but they took a long time to kind of resolve everything with that, and it's still unresolved. So I'm hoping that they kind of get moving on this one, because it doesn't look good at the moment. All right. So that.
sorry, I was muted. I was going to say, stay strong. I have the link again. It's been on the screen the entire time you've been here. Tell folks anything you want to promote right now in terms of helping the people of Jamaica out, which is where you're at currently, joining us live, and that you're on the scene, actually taking action to help these people. But how can people help you, and how can people help the people of Jamaica?
Okay, so there are a number of places that there are a number of foundations that you can actually donate to if you want. Usain has a foundation that you can donate to. I'm sorry, unfortunately, I don't have the information on that right now. But if you find his thing, you can donate there. Tyrese Gibson also has, yes, the actor and singer. He actually came to the country, and he was trying to help people out. He has a foundation as well. If you guys want, now here's what I'm open to doing. All right. I'll still, be doing as much as I can in terms of putting out my content, but there are a lot of people that need help. If you guys don't, donate or share the link to the funds, all that money is going directly to people. If my aunt's roof gets fixed and whatnot, and there's money left, I'm gonna go to these different locations, and I'm gonna see what these people need for help and try to help them. I'm not expecting, like, the scale of this, Cyrus. It's vast. All right.
I believe you. I believe you. Yeah.
I'm not gonna expect that I'm gonna be able to say I'm gonna help all these people and whatnot. I'm gonna do as much as I can, and
That's all you can
try
do.
to hope
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's all you
But
can do, man. Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
So
I experienced a category, I think 2 hurricane once in my life. And I think in the Pacific Ocean, the nomenclature is typhoon. That's the difference.
yes.
Like Pacific Ocean typhoon, Atlantic hurricane. And it was a category 2. And so it was like a good 12 to 24 hours with the wind when it actually hit us and all that. But the nuisance from my perspective from that experience was mostly, again, the electricity being out. Water we do not have a problem with. I felt like Costa Rica's, their infrastructure was prepared for this. And but I still remember, like, a category 2 was crazy, and the wind and all that. I can't begin to understand the perspective of experiencing a category 5 where the winds are picking you up. Like, usually the flooding is the devastation that comes with a hurricane. In this case, like, the winds, it sounds like, just blew the whole place up, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And I have people willing to give firsthand accounts. So I'm definitely considering doing that, so people can understand what these people are going through. And it like I said, it's no joke. And if you want to do something, if you have the desire to help someone, I promise you, these people could use the help. So,
I believe you, man. I believe. Well, stay strong, brother. Hang in there. Again, people can follow you. Is Twitter the ideal social media platform where you're providing updates, or is there a better place?
So I will be, You know what? I haven't decided. I have a lot of videos that I'm going to upload. Twitter limits me to like maybe 3 minutes or something like
So maybe just
that.
YouTube. Maybe your YouTube
Yeah,
channel is the
I'll
way to
do
go.
that. And we'll probably utilize the shorts channel a bit. I'll just post the stuff that I have. If I sit and try to put it all together into one video, it'll take a very long time. I might still do that, but I still want to get you guys the information so you see what's going on and what's happening on the ground.
Well, and your YouTube channel, the link is already in our description of Golden Days. But again, your channel, I mean, you've got I think over 50,000 subs. So just anything you publish there, you're going to get some traction. And for anyone who is not already subscribed to Swish Culture, it's just make sure it's not plural, because the Swish Culture plural is a totally different thing. It's Swish Culture singular, 2 words. Subscribe to Swish on YouTube. Normally, he's publishing phenomenal Warriors content. That's how this whole partnership between us started. But right now, you're focusing on much bigger things. Hang in there, brother. I commend you for doing the right thing and just being out there trying. That's all you can do, man.
Yeah, I apprate that, Cyrus. Thank you
I
so much.
appreciate you,
Man.
brother. I appreciate you, man. We'll stay strong, right? And
Will do.
once life is calm, or if there's, look, I know there's nothing I could do now, but I still offer help. If there's anything I can do, reach out to me. You have my number. You have all my contact information. And folks out there, subscribe to Swish Culture. He'll post updates on his channel when he can. And just hang in there, brother. Thanks for checking in live from Jamaica.
Awesome. Appreciate that.
Of course, man. Hang in there, all right, brother?
Will do.
All right, Swish. We'll talk to you soon, man. Hang in there, dude. That's Swish Culture coming to us. That just puts everything in perspective. Going from let's talk about hoops, bro, and then real life hits, and Swish is literally dealing with that. So I hope Swish is okay. I appreciate him actually taking the time out to join us. Again, from a scene of a legitimate disaster. A Category 5 hurricane hitting that island is insane. And I know you're here for the basketball talk. Thank you for your patience while we heard out Swish. That justifiably so, man. We got to put things in perspective, or at least every once in a while on this planet. And that took precedent. So Swish, again, he does not at this moment have the luxury to follow Warriors basketball, to follow the types of things that we use as distractions from real life catastrophes, the struggles of life. It's hard enough in this world without having a goddamn Category 5 hurricane affecting you. That's insane. My heart goes out to people in Jamaica. And why don't we play some sound going back to the Warriors game itself? I haven't had a chance to look yet, but something tells me we do have some sound. Whether it's Steve Kerr, whether it's any of the players, if anyone spoke, and that multimedia content. Did the Rockets win, by the way? The Rockets won that game? Well, okay, so before Swish came on, I was talking about the Magic and the Rockets. The Magic were leading, I think. Went to overtime. Okay, so the Magic were leading 102-100, and there was 1.3 seconds left on the clock. And I bring up the Orlando because that's the Warriors' next opponent, Tuesday. Since then, I don't know how Houston tied the game, but they hit I'm guessing a buzzer beater or something right where the clock was going to expire to send it to overtime. And then in overtime, the Rockets outscore the Orlando Magic 15 to 11. I apologize. Right? Is that the math? Hold on. 15 to 11. And so they win that game 117-113. That's crazy. So I literally, before Swish came on, thought that we'd be talking about an Orlando Magic team feeling damn good about themselves coming out of a win in Houston, another place that experiences hurricanes, more specifically Galveston down the road. But those hurricanes do hit Houston too. And unlike the Warriors, Orlando lost. Yeah, we are talking about hoops for all the people in the chat complaining. Jesus Christ, have some patience, God damn it. So yeah, Orlando lost that game. That's crazy. And the next game for the Warriors and the Orlando Magic is against each other. That game will be Tuesday, tip off at 7 Pacific, 4 Eastern time. That is crazy. That is wild. But we go back to the focus of this game, and let's start with the player of the game. Moses Moody, because I don't see any multimedia. I thought there'd be some by now. Side note, for those wondering if they were going to see Kevon Looney play against his former team tonight, Looney did not play. He got oh my God, he got a DNP. Why? Like, some people just don't make sense. I get that the Rockets that the Pelicans are struggling this year. I get it. Yep, you're having rough times. Willie Green just got fired, replaced by Borrego. But and the Pelicans after the loss tonight dropped to 2-11. But you can't play Kevon Looney. You can't fit him in this game. Like what's wrong with you? Jesus Christ. There's just so much incompetency in so many positions of power. Just so many. Like if we did a pie chart or some sort of comparison where we broke down all the people in this world who were in positions of authority, and then they took some sort of intelligence quotient test, I would guess it would be a 75-25 margin, where 75 represents incompetency, 25% represents competency. And that's how the world's run today. 3/4, I would guess, from my own personal experience, based off everything I'm observing, is run by utter morons, just clowns, just people who get these positions for all the wrong reasons. And I cannot believe Kevon Looney got a DNP. Like you couldn't throw him out there for a minute or two to play against his former team. That is asinine. But Moses Moody again had a great night. Oh, and I found some sound. Let's hear from Steve Kerr, and then we'll talk about Moses Moody again, who hit 7 first quarter 3-pointers. The entire reason why the Warriors had this game pretty much in control from the outset was Moses Moody, because the veterans were hit or miss. Steph, again, shot just 2-11 from the field tonight. Draymond Green, again, you don't normally rely on him for your stats. He was just 3 of 13 from the field. Did hit 2 threes. He snapped a streak of 12 straight missed 3-pointers, and he made a second one after that. But the veterans were not exactly pouring it in offensively or otherwise. So Moses Moody, our FanDuel player of the game, 32 points on 8 of 12 shooting from deep, 8 made 3-pointers on 66.7% shooting from deep. That is outstanding. Added 4 rebounds in this game, added 3 steals in this game, and even a block. And his coach, Steve Kerr, talked about him. Let's hear from Steve Kerr immediately following the Warriors improving to 9-6 on the year. Again, thanks in large part to Moses Moody. Here's Kerr.
What kind of tone did Moses set in that first quarter with his shot making?
That was impressive. That was 7 threes, was it? In the first quarter. Don't see that very often. Yeah, it's fun to see him really shooting the ball so well this year, finding a great role within the team.
How much growth have you seen in offense this year? Just really beyond the shot.
I think the biggest change is he's shooting the ball off the move a lot better. He's worked hard at it. Pin downs. I think his first few years that were really encouraging to try to get the shot off quicker. And it takes time to adjust to the speed and athleticism of the NBA. So he's getting the shot off quicker, but he's also doing it off the move, coming off pins and all that kind of stuff. So it looks good.
Did you know he was going through a thumb thing late last year?
Did I?
Moses was going through like an issue with his thumb late last year. I mean, how aware of that were you? Because he really struggled to shoot.
Thumb issue. Yeah, the thumb issue.
Yeah, was I aware of it?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew he had a,
How much did you feel like it was impacting his shot?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, how big is it when he is shooting?
Yeah. I mean, he's in the starting lineup for a reason. On-ball defense and space the floor, knockdown shots, complements the other starters really well.
All right, now Steve Kerr immediately following, again, the Warriors winning. That soundbite courtesy of Sam Gordon of the San Francisco Chronicle. Thank you, Sam, for posting that. And again, Moody's stat line one more time. Fantastic game. Excellent start. Moody on the night, again, our FanDuel player of the game. I believe the second time this season he has earned that honor. 32 points, a team high, plus 22 in net rating. Second on the team to Draymond Green, 8 of 12 shooting from deep, 4 rebounds, 3 steals and a block, only 1 turnover in 33 minutes and 4 seconds of play. Moody was absolutely fantastic. Moody. I'm going to put the link in the chat if anybody wants to join me tonight. And if you don't, I totally understand. Sunday nights are usually the calmest. Urias in our chat. Delfinger adding that Moses Moody played 33 minutes tonight. More specifically, 33 minutes and 4 seconds. Brandon Pajemski, 25 minutes and 47 seconds. Pod's actually had a pretty decent game tonight. We'll talk about him in a little bit. I also want to, while we're playing sound bites, I want to play one more from Kerr. At the start of the show, you heard me talking about that fan interaction Draymond Green had. Just a weird scene. The fan, to the best of my knowledge, did not get kicked out ultimately. But Kerr talked about that. And I'm actually curious to hear what Steve has to say. But I never played the soundbite, by the way, from a few weeks ago. If I find it tonight, I'll play it. I doubt I will, though. But Kerr was asked a couple weeks ago about that one fan at Chase Center who dressed like him and how it turned contentious. and I guess Kerr was trying to be, according to Kerr, he was trying to be friendly to this guy, and the guy started grilling him, and it got contentious super fast. I just thought of that randomly. But here is Steve Kerr talking about that, again, that a peculiar interaction where a monstrous fan, again, engages with Draymond, stands up, hands are out like he wants to fight. Draymond kept his cool. Draymond did not ask the fan to be escorted. And here's Steve Kerr talking about that.
Well, as long as it doesn't escalate, it's fine to go over and have a discussion. I had no problem with it. It would have been nice if security got there a little bit earlier, but it's hard to comment on it because I don't know what was said.
I want to know what was said. How does Kerr not know what was said? Come on now. Did you not ask Dre once? I'd be curious as all hell to know what the hell was said between the fan. Between the fan and Draymond Green, but whatever. So Stephen Curry, who had one of the most incredible 2-game stretches of any basketball player, including himself, 95 points in 2 games, both against San Antonio, including a play that has become one of the most iconic in recent NBA history. That shot that went over the extended arms of Victor Wembanyama. Well, Steph tonight was far more quiet. And my personal opinion on this is just me, is games like these are where I feel like the veterans should just sit down and chill. If you're and look, I know Jonathan Kuminga was held out of tonight's game again because of knee tendonitis. Ooh, and Shree's going to join us. I'll bring her on right now to co-host with me. But if you can't beat a team like the Pelicans with your reserves, then your reserves suck. And I really don't know if you're a title contender. I mean, because again, Steph, Dre, Jimmy, they're old as dirt. The game plan from the get-go was surround those 3 with depth, with talent, with a cast of players who can pick up the load on certain nights so they can rest. And I would think, and not to mention, again, you've heard me harp on this time and time and again, the experience that comes with playing is invaluable, and you can't replicate it in any other environment, not even in the G League. G League's the closest thing to it, but the competition is not the same. And a lot of these young players have graduated from that level. I'm not including Pods in that yet, but you would think this would be a night where you give Steph, you give Jimmy, you give Dre a night off because it's the Pelicans. But Kerr just routinely disregards decisions that focus on the bigger picture, routinely does not have foresight for decisions that may benefit the team months from now. He's just all about how to win tonight's game. borderline miracle that he oversaw 4 championships. Insane. Well, again, that separate discussion there. Kevin Durant was on 2 of those 4 championship teams. It doesn't take a lot of coaching to lead a team that's stacked to championships. I digress. But I say all this because Steph tonight played 28 minutes and 7 seconds, was just 2 of 11 from the field, was just 1 of 6 from deep, did have 5 rebounds, did have 3 assists, also had 4 turnovers for a 9-point night. Single-digit scoring for Stephen Curry. Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Butler, again, he makes things look easy out there. So even when he's not just absolutely dominating on an obvious level, still making his impact felt. Jimmy played 31 minutes and 15 seconds, 18 points, 10 assists, 3 rebounds, a perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Steph, side note, on top of all the other poor shooting numbers, also 4 of 5 from the free throw line by his standards. Good, not great. I don't think there's any other player where I would say 80% shooting from the line is not excellent, but with Steph, he sets the bar high. Just I don't get it. Like Moses Moody carried this team tonight, and I just don't know if they needed these other guys. And if they do, again, they're screwed. Then they're just playing for a farewell tour, I guess. I don't know. And Draymond Green, who got into that weird incident with the fan, led the team in net rating tonight. Again, as excellent as he typically is with all the little things, 8 points on the night, did grab 10 boards. So not a triple single for Draymond Green. Also had 6 assists, but he had 5 turnovers. And Jimmy Butler, despite that excellent stat line I just read to you, 6 turnovers. Jesus Christ. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Stephen Curry combined for 15 turnovers tonight. Oh my God. And they still won 124-106, primarily because of our player of the game, Moses Moody. We'll talk about some other players, the sporting cast, but we'll do so with a co-pilot, Sharia. How are you doing? Good to see you.
Doing well. How are you?
Doing all right, thanks. So what was your recap of a non-dramatic, outside of fan interactions, a Warriors win over the Pelicans?
I think it was a good win. I do think that we should have rested Steph a little bit more, especially if, things aren't going well for him. Why not rest him? Moody was hot. I do think that we needed Jimmy to slow it down and to get us set up straight. We do need Draymond. I do think that Draymond, once he gets those 3 fouls, you should just sit him.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't like the fact that when Draymond gets around 3, he doesn't take him out. It's like he gets 4 and then he'll take him out. I think you should sit him at 3. Cool him off.
Fair. That's fair. That's a fair analysis. Yeah. What were your thoughts about Moses Moody's spectacular night?
I think he did amazing. I'm surprised that people are surprised sometimes when he goes off like that. I've seen in the chat where people are like, if he can stay consistent. No, if Steve Kerr can stay consistent with the minutes. Moody's not the problem. It's Steve, but we already know that. If Steve Kerr can continue to use him, he will deliver. When you take him in and out is when things get streaky.
I love it. And side note in our chat, if you're, again, friendly reminder, if you want to be a part of this, don't just show up and hurl insults. If I say something you don't like, just be specific. Explain what it is. Don't just start name calling right off the bat. That's you're not going to be a part of this if that's all you do. Let's bring Julian onto the show. Julian also joining us from Jersey. I feel like that's a pattern emerging here. Good to see you, Julian. And what was your interpretation? What was your reaction to tonight's 124-106 win by the Warriors?
Well, hello, sir. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm very bad with names, and it doesn't pop up on my screen. But
Sharia,
pleasure to be with you again. I think these
You too.
these road games are really good for the East Coast people.
Yes.
Because starting our games at 10:30, like when I have to wake up for work, it's a trouble. But my take on the game, I'll keep it positive because I think the last couple of times I've been on, we had a lot of gripes to point to, and I'll say that I give Steve Kerr credit with this lineup. The only issue as a fan is that we were calling for a change at the 2 guard from the very beginning of the season. And it's probably going to be very sad that we're never going to see the lineup of Moody at the 2, Butler at the 3, and Kuminga at the 4. I'm going to accept that Kuminga is going to be off the bench for the rest of the year, but this lineup is exactly the kind of speed and deflections and defensive string that they like to say that we need. So it's a great. I really like what I'm seeing from Will Richard. He doesn't fill up the stat sheets, but 7 boards tonight. I think he plays it within his role. I think that's why, because we're trying to play the Curry system. So I think that's why Kuminga does not fit into the Curry system, because he's not a role player, and he can't be out there 20 minutes with 0 points.
I will say this though, Julian, what Kuminga is doing this year, which I do like a lot, and I commend him for, is accept that role. And look, he got his check. He got his paycheck, which was huge. He's making $22 million and change this season, so that now it's a lot easier to stomach being devalued and being pigeonholed into a specific role by your head coach. Look, if Kuminga sticks to the role, if Kuminga's fine being benched, if his minutes don't matter, I think he's still a phenomenal plus for this team. Just my thoughts on it. I agree. He's horribly misused by Kerr, but this team does have one singular focus. That's the 5th championship. And if Kuminga's okay with that, great, right? I don't know. That's me.
And I'll give credit to Pods. The last few games, he has hit the shots that we needed him to hit. I think he's toned it back. I still feel that his minutes are still way too high, and that's concerning with Melton and Seth Curry. I think, Sai, you said the other day that Seth Curry seems to be brought on this team just to sit on the bench and
that's what I heard.
Hang out with his brother.
That's what I heard. And the fact that he still hasn't been signed, and again, I've texted all the local media beat writers because I have all their numbers, and I keep asking them, like, dude, will you please bring this up? And they're so green at their jobs, at least a lot of them, or they're just afraid of Kerr that they don't want to challenge him or even ask hard questions. But I'm very curious to know why Seth is still not on this team. Like, he's still not signed. It is now November 16th. Side note, Landman comes out tonight. I can't watch as soon as we're off the air. But why is Seth Curry not signed? Like, what the hell is going on here, man?
Yeah, maybe there's something with the tax apron that we're not told that they're trying to avoid.
No. I mean, look, maybe Joe Lacob just wants to save money, right? Mm-hmm. Because every day that he's on the roster, that's extra money they're giving out. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's as simple as that. I don't know, but it's bizarre that Stephen Curry's brother is being treated like this. I mean, I thought he was the son.
Do you think they're doing? Would you say he's the what?
The son
of who? Seth
of the Warriors, and the Warriors are the solar system. He's the son.
Yeah.
The S-U-N, not the S-O-N, the S-U-N, like a star. I just don't get the Seth Curry part of this. I really think he would be valuable for this team. But good news for folks out there while we talk about role players and bench players who haven't played yet. DeAnthony Melton has been cleared to practice. That's massive news, by the way. So DeAnthony Melton might start seeing minutes soon. I personally am elated for that. I think that's going to be a game changer if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, and so that's my concern, is that we do have a deep, talented team, because if anyone looks at because DeAnthony Melton's only 27 and he has a high skill set for what he does at that position, he just hasn't been healthy in 2 years. So my concern is that we have way too many wings, and it's possible if Kerr is willing to sit people down and say, hey, can you play a role? Can you play 10 or 15 minutes? Because he doesn't seem that he can have that conversation with someone like Pods, but Moody and Kuminga for the last 5 years have been thrown around. Both Moody and Kuminga scored over 30 points in their rookie year. So we could have been seeing a lot of high scoring games for them for the last 4 years, but they've been.
Let's stay positive. The Warriors won. Yeah. We've beaten that topic to a pulp. Yeah. You're absolutely right, though.
Here's a positive thing. Because Hield, I don't think we can trade Hield because he has 3 more years on his deal, and I don't think,
including this year, correct?
Yeah, and I don't think teams would want to trade for like a $9 million or $10 million player that they have to pay for the next 2 years. That is inconsistent. But I like. I say this: if
Playboy Brandon in our chat is saying Seth is supposed to be signed within the next weeks, plural, which is so non-specific. Where did you get that from, Playboy Brendan? If you don't mind following up with a source of your information, that's always helpful. Thank you. Sorry, Julian, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you get paid $9 million because your sole skill set is to hit threes and you're shooting thousands a day in practice, I don't think it's too much to ask that when you're open, wide, completely open, you hit 2 out of 3 a night. So that's the expectations. If he's able to keep that pace, then I'm fine with him playing, because him stretching the floor does work. But when you're playing him over 20 minutes and he's stumbling and running into his teammates, and the other game he did this dumb play where he got a steal and you think like, hooray, Hill got a steal, and then he looked at Steph, and then he would have been wide open. He decides to take a contested layup. So, oh, come on, Hill. So he'll do one good thing. So if he compartmentalizes his skill set, and if he actually delivers on that skill set, then I don't mind him playing. Otherwise, this goes back to the guards that we're talking about. I think he needs to get the DMPs to make room for Seth Curry and DeAnthony Melton and Will Richard to have more minutes, and so on and so forth. And GP2 has been playing really well of late as well.
Frank in the chat's adding that he thinks Seth's signing has more to do with the prorated salary in the February buyout market. Why? How? Because that makes no sense. His signing would have no impact on the buyout market. If the team is looking for other players, then that just means they're not going to sign him at all. And I thought that the plan was to sign him. The prorated salary, again, makes no sense. He can fit right now. That November 11th was the date that was confirmed for the Warriors being able to sign Seth and still be under the second apron. So the fact that he was not signed and it's November 16th, it smells funny. I don't know if it's just a money-saving thing. I don't know, but it's just weird. It's Steph's brother. I don't know. Sheree, does it seem weird to you that Seth is just in limbo? I don't know.
I think they have other plans that we just don't know about. So I don't want to speculate too early.
I hope.
Or get too discouraged. I do think they have other plans we don't think about. They know not to try it with Seth.
Well, I hope you're right.
Because I'm pretty sure plenty of teams would want to sign him for the vet minimum. He shot 45% from 3 last season. So the fact that he's waiting to mid-November, there has to be something, behind, like a conversation we don't know. Whether they're trying to have a trade package, maybe they're giving him a under-the-table Kawhi deal, of signing with some kind of made-up company. But yeah, there seems to definitely be. I can understand if it was someone like Westbrook, because he was kind of like that polarizing figure that no one really wanted to touch. But Seth Curry, I see plenty of teams wanting to pick him up if he was available.
And Frank's adding that if the Warriors do sign him, they're not going to be able to have an emergency signing. Technically that's true, but I mean, what emergency signing? I don't know. I just, something about this seems weird. Anyways, Julian, any final thoughts? Or Sheree, anything you want to add?
I'll throw a question to both of you.
Yeah.
If this team is fully healthy and the players that we're talking about, do you think that we stand pat of what we have if Kerr somehow miraculously gets the right minutes and lineups, or do you think that we should look for some kind of 6'10" power forward / center that can play?
Who's the 6'10" power forward center?
Honestly, I joke around in the chat a lot as far as names. I've been searching contracts. I can't see anyone. Wendell Carter Jr. does match up with some of the contracts we have. Moody plus Heel does get you Vucevic, but I don't think you want to get rid of Moody. So honestly,
I don't think the Bulls would do that either. I think the Bulls are actually happy right now. I think, but. Yeah, you don't want to get rid of Moody either for a very short-term rental.
So it's probably a name I don't really recognize, because I don't really keep track of all the newcomers and the sub role players that are there. But I'll ask you guys a question. Do you think that we still need to upgrade at that big position?
Yeah, we definitely need it, but we're not getting it. We're not getting it. This is it, sir.
Yes. And they're not going to do shit.
This is the team, sir. This is the team. This is it, and we're not getting it. We've been wanting that for how many years? 3. We're not getting it. It's not happening. We're rolling with this team. We're lucky if we get Seth, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone in the chat said Gafford would be a good deal. He's gettable, but I don't think he's a Kerr type player. I think
for who? Like who are you trading for him?
Gafford doesn't make that much. So my trade assets
like 15, 16 million. That's where he's at.
Yeah.
So
definitely healed for contract matching purposes. Honestly, even though I think Pods and Moody are considerable just because of money wise, if the return does fix the system that we're trying to do. So I know people don't want to get rid of Moody. I like Moody as well, but if we have way too many guards and forwards and Kerr's not playing people at their proper position, then maybe someone like Moody, who's on probably a great contract moving forward, and teams are going to covet him if that gets you a young, big, and athletic big. But
here's why I would not hold my breath for Daniel Gafford. In Steve Kerr's mind, they already have a Daniel Gafford and Trayce Jackson-Davis. Yeah. And Trayce Jackson-Davis fits the team chemistry-wise. He knows the system. There would be no point in his mind to shake things up for a move like that. Gafford makes, 15, 16 million? So Moses Moody for him, I don't see the Warriors doing that. Buddy Hield and something else for him. Would Dallas go for that? Probably not. Why would they want Buddy Hield? Like, they could probably get something better than Hield for Gafford. I just don't see that happening. It's ideal. Again, in a logical world, if we're talking roster building, it would make perfect sense. But we're talking about Steve Kerr and a team led by him. And
you also got PJ Washington. He's a power forward that can shoot the three. I think Mavs will eventually start blowing that team up and just
which player? Who?
PJ Washington.
He would be awesome. I don't know if Dallas would give him up. Shreya, do you think they trade him?
No.
Yeah, I don't see that either. I don't know. I don't think Dallas is going to just blow it up either. We know Sacramento is going to blow it up. I could see Dallas trying to move on from like an AD, like a big contract like that. PJ Washington, they just signed him. I don't know.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and Abraham DeLeon brings up Klay Thompson. Look at Klay for Buddy trade. That would be awesome. Now you're like, and they make almost the same. Well, no, they're close enough where you could probably make that trade work. I don't know. It doesn't solve much, but it would be nice to have Klay back home. I don't know. Simon 2 in the chat's adding Pajemski to the map seems to fit, but now you're talking about one of not just Steve Kerr's favorites, but we're realizing more and more that the Pods minutes, the GP2 minutes, these are players Steph loves. Like, Steph thrives with these guys out there because all they care about offensively is making Steph's life easy with screens. Just like, those guys care about one thing, and that's making Steph succeed. That's their focus. And Steph loves it. Kerr loves it. And look, big picture, I don't know if it's a good thing, but that's how this team rolls, and we just got to live with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, certainly. Last name I throw out there is Naz Reid. I think he's making $21 million, so I'm not sure what contract.
Naz Reid with Minnesota.
Yeah,
I would love him.
I think Moody is like first round aspect. So Moody, Hield plus a first round pick might get you Reid. I'm not sure.
Would Minnesota do that?
No.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out, names.
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate that.
In with a realistic contract.
You're being constructive.
Yeah, and maybe teams that might want some kind of change. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. And again, I go in 2021. I asked Steve I think it was the last question I ever asked Steve Kerr before he tightened the reins, because the Warriors for a brief moment there were letting me and a couple others actually join press conferences through Zoom. It was awesome. And then local media started complaining because they wanted the access. And then Kerr started complaining because he didn't like the hard questions. The last question I asked Steve Kerr, and this was, I think, early 2022 before the trade deadline, was, are you looking at a trade given that you don't have any traditional centers on this roster? His response to that was, actually, I think Kevon Looney is a traditional center. And look, for that year, he was right. Looney was good enough. I'm never going to forget Looney's 22 rebounds in the Western Conference Finals clinching game. But that's how Kerr thinks. That's how he rolls, man. Even if most other people don't see it that way. So I don't think they're going to do shit. That's my prediction. I could be wrong, but that's my prediction.
All right.
How about you, Shreya? Do you think the Warriors are going to make a deal?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Well, sorry, next time someone comes in a chat and say you don't know what you're talking about, just say I used to be in the room with these coaches and players.
I don't. They're just haters. Look, you're doing something right if you have haters. That's part of the media game. I don't like it when I'm getting like death threats like that. That's where it goes a little too far. And like I had someone. It wasn't a death threat, but they threatened to hide in the bushes and basically trying to play mind games with me. Like I should be afraid of my life. And I did get law enforcement involved immediately. My point is. If you're not moving the needle in both directions, like you're not going to ever make noise in this industry. And but yeah, the haters are just they're a part of it, you know. And all I ever ask, look, if you disagree with me, even if you don't like me, that's fine. It's what am I going to do about that? But just be constructive. Like if you want to have a debate, don't just say you don't know shit. Like right, that's like the hater 101. Chat comment, social media comment. You don't know ball. You don't watch the games. Like that's always like the lines always hear and see the most. And it's just
we have when Armando comes on the show, we have literally 2 college professors.
Yeah,
thinking critically,
literally,
and having a debate and conversation, and you have people like, "Oh no, you're wrong." I'm like, I think they have some kind of credentials and knowledge, even if it's not all basketball, to like determine what they're seeing on court. Is it a good product or is it a bad product? And real quick, someone brought up Yusuf Nurkic. He's on a expiring deal. I'm not sure, but I know he has beef. But
dude, him and Dre hate each other. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Like Lauri Markkanen would be something special. I don't know what the price tag is for him, but
I think he's making $43 million. It's impossible.
I don't mean that. I mean, like, what's the price tag for trading for him? Like, what does Utah want if you're going to talk about a Lauri Markkanen? But then again, I mean, Draymond was literally asked about him when they were exploring that trade last year. Who knows what the asking price was? Yeah. And Dre said no. That was his advice. I don't think he was given like the power to shut down that deal, but he gave his input, and I think that goes a long ways. I mean, look, Steve Kerr 2 games in a row with first quarter challenges. In case you folks haven't noticed that, entirely because of Draymond Green. They lost that challenge last game, and thankfully did not bite them in the ass. Tonight they won the challenge. The call got overturned because they saw a foul being committed to Draymond. Someone in the chat, by the way, in all caps. Because _John Bobby has to make this point loud and clear, saying the fan that Draymond confronted was calling him Angel Reese because all he was doing was getting rebounds and not taking any shots. This, according to ESPN and the Associated Press. Okay. Shreya, do you have an opinion? Any thoughts on that?
That was so silly, and the lady that was with him looked mortified. She looked mortified after. I thought to myself, sir, you have really taken it too far.
Yeah, did we notice that he was an inch taller than Draymond Green?
He was a big boy. He was a big boy.
Well, that's why he stood up.
Courtside seats at 6'7". I wonder what he does for that.
I mean, that's why he stood up. You could tell.
Yeah, that looked like a big corn-fed boy. Julian, any final thoughts?
No. Keep up the show. Great work. Thank you for bringing me on, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. Let's go to before I get to Devin and Limbo, I want to quickly bring up Will Richard because he's been in the starting lineup now for 3 games. Is it 3 games? I think that's what the run is now, and they've won all 3. And I love even on a night like this where the box score does not reflect a big night for him. He's still being productive out there. He's still doing great things out there. He's just a natural fit. This has been an unbelievable addition for the Warriors. To me, it's a massive upgrade from Podziemski as your starter instead of Will. Will Richard is an upgrade to me, plain and simple. And even though the 3 wasn't falling tonight, he was 1 of 5 from deep. You take those 3s away, and Will Richard was 3 of 4 from inside the 3-point line. So he was efficient as a 2-point scorer. Finishes the night 9 points. 7 rebounds. I will always take that from my shooting guard. Added an assist, 2 turnovers, a +11 in net rating. Will Richard, awesome. I'm just blown away that the Warriors just landed this guy. It's been a while. I feel like since the Warriors have just struck gold like this with a draft pick. This kid looks special. Shreya, what are your thoughts on Will Richard?
I don't mind if he has an off night with shooting. As long as you get the rebounds and you're scrappy and you're hustling, you're all right with me. So I think he did really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's better that Pods comes off the bench. I think he plays better.
Agreed. Is it weird to you, speaking of players coming off the bench, Quentin Post has been coming off the bench. I love that. I
He
think
plays
he's
better too.
yes. And one weird thing about his game that I'm picking up, and I do think this is very weird, and I don't know if this is like a concrete piece of analysis or just something I'm noticing recently. He seems to be a better 3-point shooter off the dribble than being a catch and shoot player. Meaning when he's basically like trying to make a play and then he just hoists up a three, those look and feel more natural than when he's just wide open and sit with his feet set. And you don't normally say that about players, but with Quentin Post, I'm noticing that. Sharia, what are you seeing?
I agree. I noticed the same thing. I think that's his little sweet spot. Coming off the bench is better for him. Coming off the bench for Pajensky is better for him. And you know what? When you feel like your spot is threatened, you move accordingly. And I think that's what it is for both of them.
And when Kuminga comes back, that's another, like, suddenly your bench unit just looks better and better. Things this season could be amazing. It's very far too early to start getting a read on how this is going to turn out, but the Will Richard piece of this certainly makes things click a hell of a lot better than Pajemski. Not to disparage Pajemski. Side note, Pods did have a good game tonight. 25 minutes, 47 seconds of play, 19 points. I'm going to guess that's the season high. I could be wrong on that. Added, again, all I want from him are assists and 5 minimum. Still can't figure that part of his game out. He had 3 assists at 3 rebounds. 3 of 7 from deep, though. If those 3-point shots are falling, it masks everything else. I again would still like to see the assists go up, but 19 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 of 7 shooting from deep for 19 points from Brandon Pajemski. Any Pajemski thoughts, Shreya?
No, I think he did good. I feel the same way about the assists as far as him being a facilitator, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But he did good.
Yeah, and Simon too. I will agree that is too soon to make these calls. By the way, again, for the assumptive haters in the chat, a new world is happening. Is saying I will never agree to trade Kuminga. Again, I said this yesterday and I'll say it forever. Folks, if you want to be a logical person in this world, don't make assumptions. Plain and simple. The assumptions are not factual. And you're assuming there that I would just say no to every Kuminga trade. I've already said if the Pelicans are willing, and that's a massive question mark, but if they're willing, I'd endorse a trade for Trey Murphy III. I don't think the Pelicans would do that, though. That's where I push back. Trey Murphy is an awesome basketball player. And tonight was another example of that. 20 points, 8 rebounds, 2 of 6 from deep. Look, Trey Murphy is not, I don't think is someone that you're gonna rely on as your number 1 or even number 2 guy. But if you can pull that trade off this season, great. You're gonna see me be happy. It's all about a trade that makes sense.
Right.
So if you're talking about trading Kuminga, propose something that brings back equal or better value, and I will endorse it. But if you're sitting there like hoping for Malik Monk to come back, you're not living in reality, dude, whoever that is. That's all I'm trying to say. Just make it make sense. Sheree, anything you want to add to that?
You just got to trade for someone that fits the system too. You got to keep that in mind. A good player is a good player, but they have to be able to fit the system. Look, Kuminga is amazing. I want Kuminga, but as far as fitting the system, it's not exactly what Steve Kerr wants. I think Trey Murphy does fit the system.
And the other piece of the Kuminga puzzle that people need to remember too is try and think about the future, at least a little bit. Like just think about a year from now, right? Like let's say best case scenario, the Warriors win the title this season, which is a possibility. Okay, don't rule that out at all. FanDuel, by the way, now that I'm curious now, the current odds, last time I looked at this, it was Warriors plus 1,900. It still is plus 1,900. And the wins total currently, because that number adjusts consistently, the Warriors OU for regular season wins is the line is out. Oh my God, went back up to 50.5. To me, the under is a borderline lock. I could be wrong, and this is gambling. I have no clue. But 50.5, the bookies are basically asking all of you, do you think the Warriors are going to win 50 or less or 51 or more? They won 48 last year. They haven't hit the 50 win mark since the 2022 title season when I think they won 53. I think that's a safe under. And that doesn't mean that the Warriors won't win the title. Like, I can see the Warriors being 48-34, even like 50-32, and still having a phenomenal postseason run. But I would bet the under on that. Sharia, any thoughts on 50.5?
I bet the under also. I mean, it's still early, and you have to factor in injuries, which are going to happen. You just, you can't avoid them. It's just based on who.
Exactly. 100% right. Simon 2 in the chat, by the way, has been like borderline spamming the chat because he or she is dreaming of Lonzo Ball coming to the Warriors. A, I don't know if Cleveland would make that trade. They just signed him. B, what is the price tag for Lonzo for someone who has a long track record of injuries? I know recently he's been doing okay, and never mind the fact that I don't know how he's doing on Cleveland this year. I haven't watched the Cavaliers closely enough. I know he has not been impressing that much. So Simon, I don't know why you think he would unlock everything like you wrote. I don't know what the price would be for Lonzo Ball. Look, if the Cavs would do it for Podziemski, yeah, I'm doing that yesterday, of course. But I don't think that the Cavs would agree to a straight up Podziemski for Lonzo Ball trade. Never mind the fact that Steve Kerr loves Podziemski. Sharia, what's your a word of advice to Simon 2 in her chat, who is dreaming about Lonzo Ball the same way Muhammad Alavi once dreamt about Dua Parith coming to the Warriors? Yes, Muhammad, I still remember that.
He's got to unlock in Cleveland first before he even thinks of unlocking in Golden State. Because I watched a little bit of him the other day and a snooze fest. Just saying. From what I saw, I did turn the channel, so maybe he did good, but
I'll look up the numbers real quick, just to indulge Simon 2, because again, just piggybacking off what you said, the eye test from what I've watched with the Cavaliers, who, side note, are underwhelming a bit this year. They're 9-5 currently. I think people expected more from this squad. Let me see, Lonzo Ball on the year. Not great. Only scoring 6.4 points per game. The assist numbers are always high for him because he is a legitimate point guard. He's averaging 5.4 assists, but shooting wise, it's been a struggle. He's only shooting 35.4% from the field total. That is a very bad field goal percentage. Only 34% from deep. So you take away the assists, and it's not much. He isn't impressing a whole lot, especially when his career scoring average is 11.2. His career 3-point average 36.2. And even though the minutes are slightly down from his career numbers, he's averaging 23 minutes a game, which on the Warriors would be fairly high. The numbers are underwhelming, but who knows? I'm not hating on the idea. I just don't think it's realistic, and I think there are other names out there that will blow my socks off more. Sharia, any thoughts?
yeah, no. You take the assist away, and he's doing the buddy. He's just out there moving around, turning around, just going around in circles. It's a no for me.
Julian Bashir adding, if it's for Buddy Hield, now we're talking. Agreed. But I don't even know if they do that because the team loves Buddy so much. Devin in limbo. Yes.
Hey, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Okay. How are you?
Good.
Amazing. Yeah. Just so you know, y'all make this Sunday night very cozy. And it also, the fact that the Dubs won makes it even better.
Yes. 100%. Are you in the Bay Area? Where are you in the world?
Okay, well, also it's Devil in Limbo.
Devil in Limbo. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah.
Are you like, I don't know if you folks have watched the Eddie Murphy documentary that just came out on Netflix. I've only seen pieces of it, but one story that blew my mind, although I don't know if it was in the documentary, but I saw this clip recently where Eddie Murphy was talking about his experience with Sammy Davis Jr. Sorry to date myself here. He was a former Rat Pack member. The whole point why I bring that up is
he's so talented.
Apparently, yes, but apparently, according to Eddie Murphy, Sammy Davis Jr. Was a Satan worshiper.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Devil in Limbo. So so that's
hilarious. Hey, I look forward to watching that because I'm actually a huge fan of Eddie Murphy. He's actually one of my favorite actors.
Huge, agreed.
I'm a huge fan. Like, here's the thing. I think Beverly Hills Cop is one of the best action movies. You know?
Can I add to that and say that the newest Beverly Hills Cop I actually thought it was a pretty good movie. But that's just me.
No, yeah. Like, I'm talking about the first one, but no, hold on.
The first one.
I gotta talk about this. So,
Sharia,
Sharia,
are you an Eddie Murphy fan?
Yeah, I like Eddie Murphy.
Okay, because you've worked in film in this whole industry. Have you behind the scenes and Devil, like Sharia knows her shit especially when it comes to entertainment, because you work in that industry.
Nice.
What is the behind the scenes chatter on Eddie? Is he a good dude?
I honestly haven't heard anything about him. No lie.
I'll say that's a good thing.
Nothing good
He keeps it private. He keeps it private. He probably kept it private since like that whole thing that happened, controversy in the 90s, where he said that he was like trying to give some innocent girl a ride home that he saw on the street or whatever.
Who was dressed as a man, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think ever since then, he just always kept it low key and private, because like I think like all of that went crazy.
Well, it was
and also like there was so much drama back in the day about box office hits and everything, and like this is a guy who's like super talented, and like, oh my god, like this guy like burnt himself out doing the Nutty Professor, and like then trying to do like a bunch of other shit that was just not. Bowfinger is so good though. But anyways, I want to talk about
underrated.
Sorry,
yes.
one thing that I wanted to mention was that Jerry Bruckheimer is the reason Beverly Hills Cops is awesome. It's because Jerry Bruckheimer, like, he's a really interesting, like, scrawny, short, white dude that like understands like how to put diversity in movies. Like his first 2 or 3 movies, like all the the main cast or the main actors were all people of color. And Eddie Murphy was a huge hit for him.
Devil.
Yeah, anyway, sorry, it's because when we talk about movies, like I get stuck there, man. I'm so sorry.
I know. We can get carried away. What are your thoughts on the Warriors tonight?
Okay, so first of all, I have to be honest because I always keep it like this, but I have not seen the game, so I apologize.
It's okay.
Although I do want to say something. If we can talk about anything about the Warriors, but I guess if I do have to mention something, since you guys were just talking about Jonathan Kuminga.
Why did you join us? What was the reason for you chiming in the first place?
Well, I've been wanting to chime in for a while, but it just never seems to work out because I think last time you couldn't hear me, and I didn't see that I was muted. It was ridiculous. And then the other time I lost connection and stuff like that.
Well, now you're here. Now you're here.
Yeah. And I also wanted to say that I think the first time that I went live with you and came in as a guest, I was a little bit weird. I said some weird stuff.
Now you're.
I apologize about that.
Now you're
totally the F word way too many times. Way too many times.
Look, weird is good. This world has too much quote unquote normal anyway, so I respect it. Devil, what are your thoughts on the Warriors this year? How about we touch on that specifically? Do you feel good about the Warriors this year?
I do now. Because the thing about it is, I didn't like that they lost against the Blazers. I actually have like a little thing about that, and they have to win next time they play them. Because it's the same thing that Shardal mentioned, and I completely agree with Shardal. It's like you have to crush them. They don't have a set coach. Like this is a random ass team right now. Like they're dealing with controversy. How do you not like? I'm sorry, but the reason I love I've been okay. Let's establish this. I've been a Warriors fan since the days where the organization thought that Jason Caffey was going to be their franchise player. Okay.
A long time ago.
Since I was a little kid. Yeah, no, since I was a little kid. I remember this because I love the 96 Bulls, and Jason Caffey was the second string to Rodman. He came in and did a great job. I mean, you can see his numbers, and he always came in with a lot of energy and all this shit. So then the Warriors were like, oh, Sprewell was wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Dude, the whole controversy is what do we do now? What the fuck do we do? I'm sorry about the F word. I'm so sorry. And then they signed Jason Caffey and a bunch of people, and then Mookie Blair, Jason starts at one point. That's hilarious, bro. Like, so ever since those days, okay? So ever since those days, I've been like, no matter what, if we ever win one championship, we have to win more and more and more and be the most competitive team ever. That has always been like my dream. So when we lose against teams like the Portland Trailblazers, like I'm just like, that is just such bullshit. I don't know what's going on here. But now like everything seems to like gel. But I want to address something which is about Jonathan Kuminga. That's like really important in my heart.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The Portland Trailblazers are a good team. They actually are legit. I would not like look at that as the Warriors like blowing a game they easily should have won. Portland is good. So don't let that discourage you or let that paint a picture for you for the season.
Bro,
that's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing. Like, I think they dropped the ball on Tybal. They could have gotten him like 3 years ago. And are you kidding me? I mean, but anyways, there's a lot of players like that in the NBA where I look at, I'm like, damn, like, well, how come they're not like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I agree on that, but it just means that there's a lot going on with that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they're a really good team. Yeah. But I mean, come on, bro. Like, you can't let a team like that, like, you know, anyway.
Devil, has anyone ever compared you to this dude?
Oh, wow.
Is this you?
No.
You're not this guy? You're not the double rainbow guy?
It's starting to even look like a triple rainbow. Oh my god!
All right, we'll stop.
I've never seen this video. This is hilarious, dude.
Get out of there.
But what about Kuminga? What about Kuminga?
Okay, so here's the thing, man. Like, Jonathan Kuminga has splintered Warriors fanship, you know, or fandom.
So the first time it's happened.
Yeah, true. But you know, I think there's something interesting going on because of people like you, Cy, and the work that you're doing and the hustle that you're putting into this. Because I pay a lot of attention to online content creation and digital marketing, like I do, and so I go to a lot of other creators, you know, and I fuck with you a lot, you know, because you this is what you do. You invite people, and you know what I mean. And but
I appreciate that. Devil, real quick here. Darius in our chat is like insisting that we discuss a video that I'm unfamiliar with. And Sharia, I bring it to you. Devil, I bring it to you. Is there a video I'm missing where Kerr gets hit from the back by Pajemski? What are you talking about, Darius? Do you guys know what's going on?
I don't think I've seen that.
You have seen
I've
that?
Not seen that, or I have not seen it or heard anything about it.
Yeah, Darius, what are you talking about, dude? He keeps he keeps saying like I'm wrong for not exposing the two. I don't know what you're talking about, Darius. I had a link so I can have a better clue as to what you're referring to. Devil, any final thoughts? Okay. So I appreciate you. Thank you for what you just said there. I did hear you, and I'm very appreciative, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure. So anyways, this whole Kuminga thing, and you know, I just hear what a lot of people are saying. Like I heard this one guy who is also a live streamer. He was like talking shit about Kuminga, saying like, oh, he has like the mentality of like a 16-year-old basketball player.
Yeah, who call out the person? Who was the person that said that?
It was Let's Go Warriors guy or whatever, Rich. But like and you know, but that's the thing though. He's not the only one. And here's what I have to say about that though, and this is really important, like because like, you know, we're living in times where like shit like this is a little bit sensitive. But like, yeah, I mean, hey man, Kuminga didn't go to college. Great for you. You know, Kerr criticizes that shit a lot. Like, oh yeah, no, I like my college players. You know, blah blah blah, college. So like, yeah, man, like, okay, like, I guess we are gonna have to trade him then, like, because this guy does not deserve this.
But here's the counter to that, Devil, and Sharia and yourself can let me know if I'm rational or not, because I started going down this road and I don't know what distracted me. But think about beyond this year. There is a very strong possibility. Let's say, for the sake of argument, the Warriors win the championship, or there is a very or not. There's a very strong possibility, though, that this is the last run of the Kerr Warriors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're seeing before our very eyes Steph aging. I know he just had that insane 2-game stretch, but we can't be in denial about his age. He turns 38 this year. That's crazy. Dre turns 36. Jimmy's already 36. There is going to come a time, and it's going to be sooner than later, where this team shifts direction, right? And truth is, if you really want to know the truth, I'll happily tell you, Lacob has wanted to blow this thing up for a long time. But Steph just keeps maintaining this level of greatness. They won that championship in 22. That alone, completely rocked their whole plan on a year-by-year basis. They did not expect that title. None of them, except for the players themselves, expected that. My point is, there is going to come a time when Kerr is not the one running things, and almost any other coach would be playing Kuminga at the level that I keep.
Oh yeah, no, right? I talked to Lakers fans, and they're like, dude, we wish we had Kuminga. Can you imagine having Kuminga and blah, blah, blah? And it's like, okay, you can have Kuminga. We'll take Austin Reeves, bro. I'm sorry, but we'll take him. You want to do that? Let's do it.
Kings,
no, but
Kings
because they people like him. People outside of Warriors Nation, love Kuminga. They love him because he's got that swagger of strength. You know, that and he got criticized for smiling while he was on the line or whatever. I'm like, no, dude, are you kidding me? You know how many times, some of the best players smile too, but Kobe never smiled. Dude, Kobe is Kuminga's favorite player. You know what I mean?
Again, I'm just entertaining this because it's so wild. I can't help it. Darius adding that Steve Kerr. Let's go down the conspiracy road. I need some music for this as well, not the typical music. Let's say it's something that's a little more just corny.
What?
Not that. Okay, here we go. Saying Steve
Kerr, back out.
This is our conspiracy music. Steve Kerr is compromised because of a video of Podziemski blowing his back out. What video? Jim Park filmed it? Okay, I'm done. You're now just completely you're making up shit. But look, that was fun. I appreciate creativity. I appreciate people who can envision these scenarios alone. Darius, you had your 2 minutes. Thank you. Devil,
thanks, bro. It made my night so much cozier than it was earlier.
Where are you? You never answered that. Where in the world are you?
Okay. I mean, I'm definitely in California, but I'm in SoCal.
Okay. LA, SoCal, San Diego, SoCal. The devil.
I won't go into any maybe later. I'll say some more, but
Well, I know you guys are getting rain down there. We're getting rain up here in Northern California as well. Stay cozy. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah. You're appreciated, brother. I like weird.
Dude, that sounds cool. All right. Well, appreciate you guys too.
We'll see you soon, Devil. We'll see you soon. The Devil in Limbo. I've been butchering that name for a long time. So the Devil in Limbo. Sharia, what is your reaction to the Devil in Limbo and just the interesting characters of this world as a whole?
I think it was great. It was quite the ride.
What about Darius, who got some airtime with his wild Brandon Podziemski threw his back out conspiracy?
Well, you know what? Everyone has an opinion. Yeah, you know.
Do you want to go over the scoreboard? Is there anything else that we have? Is there anything we haven't covered about this game? The Warriors next play Tuesday in Orlando. I cannot believe they're 4 games into this road trip and their record is 3-1. Yet that is the reality that we are presented with. Unreal. I'm blown away by that. What's your reaction to this?
Do you think that Trace should have been used more?
Trace Jackson Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Almost always. Tonight,
like
Trace only played 3 minutes and 2 seconds. I side with Armando Laura made a compelling case where that Trace Jackson Davis, his struggles usually come based on rotational decisions, meaning he's oftentimes out there playing with other players who are mostly bench warmers, mostly role players. Like he's not getting minutes with Steph, with Jimmy. And so the results show. I hark back to the start of last year when Trayce Jackson-Davis was a starter, and I don't remember any regret from those decisions. I thought he held his own. I like Trayce Jackson-Davis. He's a huge reason why you will not see me begging for a guy like Daniel Gafford, because I look, I know Trayce Jackson-Davis is not at that level, but it's not like there's a massive gap either. That's my take on him. Right. What's your take on TJD?
I think we use him wrong. Same as yours. I feel like he's never in there with the vets. And if he was in there with, say, a Jimmy Butler, he'd do a lot better. Like he could be useful. And against certain teams, we're going to need him. We can't just keep depending on Al and Post. Even though they're doing well, there's a lot of athletic teams. It's a young league. And Al, I seen people blow by Al so quick today. I mean, the feet was stuck. I like him, but the feet was stuck. And in cases like that, in cases like that, Trayce would definitely add.
I'm glad you brought up Al Horford, though, because the box score. And let's talk about, before we go to the NBA scoreboard and start to wrap it up, let's talk about two veterans that have been on the wrong end of analysis, two folks who have been criticized heavily, and I think it's justifiable. Look, you're an NBA basketball player. You're making millions of dollars, and what comes with that territory are schmucks like this guy with two thumbs pointed his direction, sometimes talking about you and not in a positive light. But Al Horford and Buddy Hield tonight did well. Even with Al Horford looking like an old man out there, he was 2 of 5 from 3, and as long as he's making those threes, it really does make up for some other deficiencies out there. The one stat, though, Sharia, with Al Horford that I'm shocked at, I'm maybe even more shocked than the fact that Jimmy Butler had 6 turnovers, largely because I don't remember 6 turnovers from Jimmy Butler. Do you remember any of those?
Early in the game.
On the first, in the first quarter. I remember a couple now, but still 6. Well, another player who has the number 6 in a key stat category is Al Horford. Al Horford had 6 assists. Why can't Podziemski do that?
I don't know. It's weird. I looked at that. He has 6 assists, but 2 rebounds. What? I mean, it's kind of like reverse. You know, it's like Podziemski will go for the rebounds. I guess Al can't jump. That's the only thing I can think of. And his IQ is so high and he can facilitate. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Al Horford also had 2 steals, 6 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. And then Buddy Hield was actually making threes tonight. There was one play where he was on skates again. It happens so frequently, meaning like defensively, he's just like his head's just turning. He's looking in the complete wrong direction. There was one play that was a prototypical example of him doing that in this game tonight. But offensively, 11 points, 50% shooting from deep. He was 3 of 6, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Buddy also had 3 steals in this game. The Warriors had 14 steals collectively. Their hands were all over the place. Jimmy Butler had 3. Draymond had 2. Moody had 3. Buddy Hield had 3. Al Horford had 2.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So good stuff to the veterans.
Right.
They stepped up.
I agree.
Shardall, if you want to come on the show real fast, I put the link up. And if not, all good. Shardall, I know you mentioned he wasn't going to, I think he went to the Niner game today. And plus we have Sharia here. So our hands are full we're good. We're good tonight, Shardall. We love you. Let's get some music and let's go to the NBA scoreboard and call it a night. Sound good to you?
Sounds good.
All right, which music is it? No. What happened to my music category? I'm sorry, you folks can't see what I see here. Something got screwed up. No, that's Larry Krueger music. There we go. Okay. God damn. I'm very frustrated with my the company that is like my virtual studio. In case you folks missed it the other night at the 27-minute mark for our last show, everything just went to shit and they didn't even get back to me. Folks, these virtual studios, they're not free. They cost a lot of money.
Right.
Sons of bitches. I have some notes here real fast. The Warriors, there was a stretch in this game. The Warriors led this game 44-28. And then near the end of the first quarter, leaking into the beginning of the second quarter, they went through a 4-minute scoring drought, and that's how New Orleans came back. And it's all because they switched to a zone defense. The Warriors, sometimes when Stephen Curry is not out there, they get so flummoxed by a zone D. It's kind of sad. It's like they're NBA players who should be better at that.
Right.
Like the zone D should not make you look that stunted. Did you notice that too, or is that?
I did. No, we went cold.
Simon T in our chat saying, send Dr. Rosanelli, our former sponsor.
Oh, I remember.
The hair plug king, or one of them, send his info to Moses Moody. Look, but Moody's got the whole hair tight back thing. Like, until he gives up on that, I think he's going to be okay. Sharia, any thoughts?
It's on its way out. It's on its way. I've been watching it for 2 seasons. It's on its way.
Oh no. The Cree, I got some chats here. Let's get through these first, and we'll go to the scores. The Cree 2010 is asking what the opinion is on the Warriors. I feel like this is an incomplete thought. It says, okay, so I would love to know your opinion here. I genuinely think that the Pelicans trade this offseason where they traded their own pick and the Pacers pick. You're referring to the trade that got them the center. What was his name? I'm live right here. Derek Queen. Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks own the Pelicans' first round pick this coming season, but he didn't finish his thought. So I don't know what you're asking. Godzilla the Creator saying, didn't Moody play in college? Yes, he played at Arkansas for a year. He's also very young. He's only a few months older than Kuminga and Brandon Pajemski. True Mentality saying, I can't believe we have a lineup getting 40-point quarters. Yeah, this plays right into what I just talked about. And Kerr is like, nah, we're going to mix this thing up. And that's in reference to the start of the second quarter. Yeah, the Warriors had 44 first quarter points, spearheaded largely by Moody, draining all those threes, 7 of them in the open quarter. Klay Thompson owns the record for most threes in a quarter with 9. And then Kerr just completely mixed it up to start the second. I do remember that, yes. So your thoughts are heard. Chef77 writing, I hope the Warriors front office is monitoring the day-to-day business with the Sacramento Kings. I don't doubt that they are. I'm sure they are. The Kings are going to blow that thing up sooner than later. I just don't know what's on the Kings that the Warriors can get. Sharia, is there any player on the Sacramento Kings roster that pops for a potential trade?
I mean, I like Sabonis, but contractually, it's the money.
Yes.
It's the money. It's all about the money. It's the money.
Must
That's
be
the issue.
money. Dion. I'm still singing that song all these years later. Yeah, the Kings I just don't know what they have that would serve the Warriors. Darius, we already talked about that. And what the F is fashion asking, what happened to Sophia Jones? Hiatus. I mean, it's not, the WNBA is currently not active. The reason why Sophia is not joining me weekly anymore to cover Warriors is because she's done with the Warriors. That's her position. She wants to be a full-time WNBA media professional, whatever that means. That's just her focus. That's primarily her focus. And again, I tip my cap to Sophia for having this self-awareness to know that if you're not observing the Warriors obsessively, you're going to fall behind very fast. And you're not going to sound like an expert when you're on a show like this. And she was aware of that. She came to a realization like, look, the WNBA is my beat. I'm the color analyst for the Valkyries. And that's my focus. And so she now has a WNBA show. I'm sure if you Google it, you can find it. I don't know the name of it, but but the relationship is sound. I love her like a daughter, and I hope that doesn't sound weird. She was my former student.
No, it doesn't sound weird.
It was like a paternal type thing, but I wish I root for her. That's the best way to spin it. Like, I'm always there for her, and she might be back when the Valkyrie season starts. We haven't gone that far yet in terms of what we're gonna do then. So, but no, Sophia's awesome. Simon too. I'm not gonna say that or play that. But I get the sentiment, and it's kind of funny. So yeah, I think that's it. Kev F saying bring Mark Jones on. We'll do that soon. That was supposed to happen like a few weeks ago. Mark is so busy. Like, he does play-by-play for the Kings, ESPN. Yeah, he'll come back on soon because that's actually a great guest. And yeah, we'll talk about the Warriors and Kings. And that's it. And KKS asking about Kevin Dana. We'll bring him on sooner. I need to bring back the former GM and coach of the Warriors, Gary St. Jean. I'll bring him on soon too. Shardal, relax. You told me ahead of time you were not going to be available tonight, and I appreciate you being available, but we're wrapping it up here. We've already been going for like 2 hours. I love you, Shardal. Don't feel bad. Else, let's go through the association. A lot of games on a Sunday, November 16th. Side note, Sharia, what are your favorite TV shows you're watching right now?
I'm not watching anything. I'm just watching basketball, and that is it. But I do like Gilded Age when it's on. They start back filming in January, so I do like Gilded Age. That's probably the only thing I watch outside of the season, to be honest.
You have an adorable little girl as well. I mean,
thank you.
And you posted that picture recently. That's why I bring that up. I'm sure she's making you watch something, or no?
No, she loves to read and do arts and crafts. But
you're lucky.
She watches basketball too.
You are lucky. Does she play basketball, or is it just?
She's only 5, so not yet. But I think she'll edge more towards soccer.
Gotcha. Celts Chronicles in the chat bringing up Chief of War. I still can't believe that actor. Forgive me for forgetting the name. We follow each other on Instagram. I have to do this.
I forgot his name. I can't pronounce his name, but I know who you're talking about. You'll be surprised, Sai, who watches this show.
Yeah, you're right.
You'll be very surprised.
The other night, in case you folks don't understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to pull his name up right now. Please forgive me for forgetting this. He's an actor on that show, and I confirmed to Sam because we DM'd soon after that appearance. James Udom, that's his name. James, forgive me for forgetting your name. I apologize. But Celts Chronicles brings up Chief of War. I'm going to make a YouTube short out of his appearance because a surprise pop-in from an actor who you're only going to see more of in the years to come. He is a legit talent. And I still have one episode to go. Chief of War, I thought was going to be an 8-episode run. I watched episode 8. Turns out there's at least 2 more. So I got to keep going. Have you seen that show, Shreya?
I haven't. I know it's on Apple though, and I think they film here, if I'm not mistaken. In New York. I say here because it's both. That's what I think, but I'm not sure. I haven't watched it.
It's a fantastic show. James it's not a minor part. He has a pretty substantial
major role. I heard.
Yes, yeah. And he's really good at it. James, if you're out there, a few people in the chat are now adding your name as well. Props for remembering his name. Yeah, the show with Jason Momoa as the title character. James, thank you, and I'll reach out to have him just as a guest on the show. That's going to be the goal there. You're right, Sharia. It is. I get surprised regularly when people just randomly let me know. I caught you the other night.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. Thanks everyone. I don't know how to respond to that other than just thank you. I'm blown away. I really am. Are you ready for scores? And then we'll call it a night.
Of course.
Let's start near where you are. Not that near, but how far is Boston from you? Like a 3-hour drive, 5-hour drive?
Oh, I haven't been to Boston in years. I feel like it's 3 maybe. Okay.
Well, they improved to 7-7 tonight. They took care of business at home playing the LA Clippers, 121-118, the final. Jaylen Brown, 33 points, 13 rebounds in the win. The Clippers, who are falling fast. They're now 4-9. James Harden, 37 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists in the loss. Sharia, I have a question for you about the Celtics that has nothing to do with basketball, but has everything to do with Jaylen Brown and that spray. And I ask you this because you are as high as it gets in terms of being a professional stylist. I had no clue this was a thing. Like that how many people spray their hair. I literally thought until for some reason this year when Jaylen Brown's head has been touching other people's jerseys, the black is smearing. I don't know why this didn't happen in years past.
Because he wasn't using it.
It's smearing. So the evidence is right there. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because that's insane to me. It's crazy.
That he's using Topics, which is fiber. which is we use it in television and film, but like no one's sweating and like touching other people, so it's not going to come off. But to use it like in live performance in a game, it's like it creates almost a paste because it's dry, but with the sweat it acts almost like a paste, so it's going to come off. I don't know why he keeps doing that. He didn't do it today because I was looking. He didn't do it today.
Does he need it?
Yeah, if he wants it to look fuller, but also I just think he should just go ahead and just do the old Doc Rivers, the ball to the line, or the Chris Paul. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, it's weird. But what blows me away about it though is he's been doing this for years. Like, why is it now rubbing off?
Well, he hasn't been doing it for years because he had the braids, but he's been thinning for years. He's been thinning for years, and he finally let the braids go, which he should have, but he should not have put the topic in. Not playing a game for a photo shoot or red carpet, perfect, but not for live performance. That's not, no.
So no soul glow for a just let your soul glow. Sorry, I can't help it.
He should just let it go. No fibers.
Coming to America, one of the funniest movies ever. Mm-hmm. Elsewhere in the association, and I agree with you. No more fibers for Jaylen Brown. The San Antonio Spurs rebounding from 2 straight losses to the Golden State Warriors. They were at home again. Excuse me. 123-110 winners tonight. If there's ever amazing medicine to heal a struggling basketball team, it's called the Sacramento Kings, and that's who came into San Antonio's arena tonight to fall. The Kings fall to 3-11. The Spurs improved to 9-4. De'Aaron Fox, 28 points, 11 assists against his former team. DeMar DeRozan, 27 points. Boy, does DeMar DeRozan sound like a player who can improve certain teams. Like, he's so good to begin with, and I don't know who that right team is, but I'm guessing someone can benefit from a DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And De'Aaron Fox looking good again. So there you go. Just down the street from you, Sharia, the Brooklyn Nets winning their second game of the year. They're no longer tied with the one-win club. That club is now reserved for, I think, the Wizards. And let me see if there's anyone else, actually, that is still just lingering with one win. The Wizards have one win. Oh, and the Pacers have one win. So there's still 2 one-win teams because the Nets won tonight. Their second of the year, 129-106 at Washington. Michael Porter Jr., 34 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists in the win. Keontae George. Is it Keontae who for the Wizards? No, maybe it's Kevin George. Hold on. But he was their top scorer, top playmaker, 29 points. 6 rebounds. Keyshawn George.
Yeah, Keontae's on the Jazz, I think.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. But these teams are near you, and they're both awful. Do people even talk about them where you live? they're just it's irrelevant. Is the Brooklyn Nets, or is it Barclay? That's the name of the place. Like, is that just is that a ghost town? I imagine people are going to the games.
I think people go to the games to see the other team, but they do go to the games. I'm sorry, I hate to be like that, but it's the truth.
It's funny though. It's funny. Oh, do it. Be like that. Be like that, please. It's funny. So anyway, the Wizards and the Pacers are still your one-win teams in the association. Brooklyn improves to 2-11. The Orlando Magic, I brought this up earlier. They had a 2-point lead with 1.3 seconds. The Rockets tie it. They send it to overtime in an OT. Houston at home takes care of business, defeating the Orlando Magic 117-113 tonight. Kevin Durant, 35 points, 6 assists in the win. Franz Wagner, 29 points in the loss. Sharia, your prediction for Tuesday, there's no line yet, courtesy of FanDuel. I'm going to guess Orlando's going to be favored by 1, maybe 2. They usually play the Warriors very tough at their home arena, and they're a big-ass team. I'm fascinated to see what becomes of it. Something tells me Kuminga was rested tonight for that game. Your preview of the Warriors and Magic Tuesday.
Well, I hope we have Kuminga is rested and ready because the Wagner boys are serious.
and a game like that, like players like Kuminga, they know full well that Franz Wagner was picked right after him and has made in his career over $200 million more than him. That's some nice extra added fuel for a player like Kuminga to go out there and go, You have made 200 million more than me. You 200 million. Oh, I'm gonna stuff this ball right down that rim and right on your head, sir. That's my guess.
It could be that. I don't know. The fact is that that's a very athletic team. And we're going to have to get way more creative than that motion offense
to
beat them. And that's just the truth.
Hell yeah. Moving on. I don't want to. That was perfect. I'm not adding a thing to that. The Portland Trailblazers tonight lost at the Dallas Mavericks. So I'm going to call that an upset slightly. 138-133, the final. Cooper Flagg, 18 years old. We're going to be saying that for another month. His birthday isn't until December. 21 points, 8 rebounds in the win. Denny Avdia, 29 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists in the loss. Portland drops to 6-7. Dallas improves to 4-10. 2 more games and we'll call it a night. The Atlanta Hawks, 122 winners tonight over the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix. The Hawks improved to 9-5. Phoenix drops to 8-6. Jalen Johnson, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists in the win. Dylan Brooks, 34 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals in the loss. Sharia, how are the Suns 8-6? Is that just the strength and schedule thing? Because that makes 0 sense to me.
I don't know, but I will tell you this. Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks got chemistry. They play well together.
Interesting.
I didn't watch the game today, but I've watched a few other games, and they play very well together.
Well, that's good analysis. I didn't even put thought into that. Like,
no,
Dylan
they have
Brooks,
chemistry.
my lord. And last but not least, a final in double overtime. The Utah Jazz, who just the other night put up 152 points, tonight put up 150. God damn, that is a scoring output. They win 150-147 at home, hosting the Chicago Bulls, who love their sausage. Josh Giddey, 26 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists in the loss. The Bulls dropped to 6-6. Excuse me. The Utah Jazz improving to 5-8. Larry Markkinen, 47 points, 7 rebounds, and that's your scoreboard. And Sharia, anything you want to promote before we call it a night?
No, not at all. Not really. Just the whole, everyone look into different places that are talking about the aid in Jamaica and donate if you can. Non-perishable goods. My family has sent stuff. I'm Jamaican descent, born in England but raised in South Carolina and live here now. So it does mean a lot. Like I said, my family has sent non-perishable barrels to Jamaica a week ago. And just Google it and you can see where you can donate. If you can't donate financially, then, there's babies that need Pampers and formula, and people need clothes and toiletries and things like that,
That's the part to me that is the saddest in a catastrophe like this. Babies, children.
Yeah.
Like that's sad. That's just sad. And speaking of the Jones family, Mark Jones, Sophia Jones, like they're at least half Jamaican. They have very deep roots and connections with that community and that island nation. And so I'm sure I should probably reach out to Mark. He'd probably want to come on sooner than later and promote getting some relief out there. I'm just shocked that the media is not highlighting this more. Is that me? Am I missing something?
No, it's just how it is. The media promotes what they want to promote.
That sucks. Shardall, I know you sent a super chat. Thank you again. We're back at the latest Tuesday. Shardall, you'll be on with us, I promise, okay? And thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Shardall wants to say hi to you too, Sharia, even though he spelled your name wrong. That's okay.
It's okay. It's
all right. We're good. Yes, so we read your super. And the Warriors are now 9-6, and they improve in the standings. They're currently 7th in the Western Conference, tied with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Both teams 4.5 back of the OKC Thunder. Denver 2nd, Houston 3rd. I don't know how the Lakers are 4th. Excuse me, but the Lakers are 4th. The Spurs who lost those 2 games, plummeted in the standings thanks to the Golden State Warriors. And then the Warriors and the T-Wolves are currently tied for 6th. Minnesota technically ahead because of 1 less loss, but they have 1 less win as well. Long season ahead. So we shall see. Sharia, I can't thank you enough. You are fantastic. I'm eternally grateful you sought me out, this show out, because every second you're on here, it's better. So thank you.
And thank you for having me.
Of course. Are we done? Is that it? Are you going to go and chill with your family or go to bed? What are you doing?
It's 11:42 here now, so I'm gonna go and watch the highlights of the game I already watched.
There you go. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you, Shreya. Thank you.
Have a good night. Signing off. Bye.